And hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Real Talk, Friday, August 1st, 2025 on 92.5 WLSD, 1220 AM The Vault, WLSDradio.com. It's going to be a great show tonight. Joined with me is my producer. She's texting away.
I am going to apologize. My family got a new puppy today, and we are very, very excited about a bear.
You'll have to talk a little bit about your pet, the pet in the next, the other people show if you want to.
Yes, I will.
I think that'll be fun.
He's adorable.
I've seen pictures. He is adorable. Please go to all the social media. That's the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. The Other People Show. The numbers are growing, so it's good. It's fun. It's good.
I was pointing out that the seat is empty. Our co-host is MIA. Hope he's doing well. Hope he's not in jail.
Yep, we hope he's doing well.
All of those things. He's probably just asleep.
Well, I think he got his sleep pattern kind of mixed up.
Well, a lot of people in the past, like if you got work and you work until a certain time and you get home and you have all day and then you just go to sleep. And we've had to cater to understanding that about adults. Like,
yeah,
this is a very enjoyable hobby and art that does sometimes have to take the back burner to real life for people in work. So
I agree. Now tonight's movie is a movie from 1997, and we made the distinction, I think last week or the week before, over time if you watch the show, that movies and films are two different things. Now this I would classify actually as a movie because it is an entertaining movie. It does have we'll get into it later, but it is what I would classify as a movie that is on the fringes of being a movie because it is not an ordinary movie. And this movie is called A Lifeless Ordinary, starring Ewan McGregor, Cameron Diaz, Holly Hunter, and Delroy Lindo. They're the four main actors and actresses. And this is about a plot that follows two angels who are sent to Earth to try to help make a disgruntled kidnapper and his hostage fall in love. And that's basically the quick plot of the movie. And I remember watching this when I was younger. I rented it, and it wasn't quite what I expected, but it was everything that I would hoped that it would be. And I'd actually picked this DVD up. I purchased the DVD at Dad's CDs. If you remember Dad's CDs
in Wise, Virginia.
Yeah, it was at Norton at one point, and it was at Wise when I purchased this particular DVD. And I actually got a notification that there was a package that arrived at your house, and in that package happens to be the DVD of A Lifeless Ordinary.
Lifeless Ordinary, yes, it is at my house.
Because I think somebody's.
I have seen the movie before, but I haven't seen it recently.
You listened to part of it the other night, you said.
Or at least I don't remember seeing it recently.
Right.
But I think I may have. I don't know. I have the memory of a goldfish.
That is true.
I write everything down. That's noteworthy. I think I remember liking it and loving it, but the karaoke scene that everybody seems to like, I was just not a fan.
Yeah, this seems like a movie that I think that you would like. It really does. I happen to have always liked this movie. When I was in London, I happened to purchase the screenplay, which is the adapted screenplay, and I actually did follow it along one time with the movie, and it's word for word, but it is adapted from the actual movie version. Now, this is by director Danny Boyle, and he's had a recent movie come out this summer right now called 28 Years Later, and he also had the original 28 Days Later. He also made the movies Trainspotting 1 and 2. Nice hairdo. He made what I call Leonardo's, I don't know if it's his best movie, but it's my favorite movie of his, The Beach, and Slumdog Millionaire, as well as a movie about Steve Jobs called Jobs. So Danny Boyle has a vast knowledge of many different genres, and I think this is one of his earlier works. I think this was only his third movie. Shallow Grave, Trainspotting, and then you've got A Lifeless Ordinary.
I think he must have tamed it down from Trainspotting to A Lifeless Ordinary.
Yeah, now you have to
Danny
think,
Boyle must have had like a little like reckoning with drugs or something, because one of the greatest drug, which you don't really want to say that, but like you have to say it like that because it is themed drugs.
right.
Trainspotting is one of those hard to watch, almost. It's not really scary, but like it's
Scary accurate.
scary. I don't remember, like, and it haunts my dreams. If you recall when Danny did the scene where the baby is crawling on top of the wall.
Yeah, on the ceiling.
On the ceiling. When the character in Trainspotting is withdrawing, and I'm not sure if that's completely accurate. I mean, he must have gotten somebody that said that that's what happened to them, but more or less, you're just thrown up.
Yeah, yeah.
But like that was one of those haunting scenes that, like, that baby's face as it turned around and looked
It was a haunting
down on the
scene.
bed.
And also, you have to think that, and I'm glad you brought up that point, that Shallow Grave, which is his first film, which happened to star Ewan McGregor, and Trainspotting were both British films, whereas A Lifeless Ordinary was Danny's first original American Hollywood film. So therefore, I'm sure it was tamed down quite a bit from the original screenplay if you go by Shallow Grave. And this movie does have a grave
I
scene.
will say we do have a little bit stricter rules with the FAA,
MPAA.
NPAA. Okay, thank you.
Well, now they've changed it to MPA, but MPAA. So
Oh,
this is a movie that had a lot of talent behind it. It had a 20th Century Fox, and this was a movie that, it came out in the fall of 1997. So if you remember the fall of 1997 like I do, and I do remember that quite well, you had other movies that were coming out that way. Why the odd expression?
what was I supposed to remember about the fall of '97?
You don't remember the fall of 1997?
I remember '98 more than I do '97.
I know the. Why do you remember 98 more?
A lot more things happened in my life. Not really like my personal life, but
Which
like
is in life in general?
that would have been a Winter Olympics year. That would have been the year sibling graduated.
Okay.
Just 97. I don't know if it was that. Maybe
Remember-
that's when I saw this movie.
Well, this movie came out in October of 97, and it came out around the time that the other movies that were in the theater overshadowed it. You had the original I Know What You Did Last Summer. You had The Devil's Advocate, Kiss the Girls. You had In and Out. You had L.A. Confidential, Boogie Nights, and you had A Lifeless Ordinary. And it only opened up on 1,200 screens, which back in 1997 seems like a lot, but other movies like 7 Years in Tibet, Kiss the Girls, they were opening up on 2,500 screens. So that makes you think right away that 20th Century Fox did not have a lot of faith in this movie that it was going to perform well, and they had every right. This movie did not perform well, and we'll get into that in a moment. Some facts about the movie, though. Although Brad Pitt met with director Danny Boyle and producer Andrew McDonald, the lead part was written with Ewan McGregor specifically in mind. And this was back when, if you go back, like I said earlier, Ewan McGregor had been involved in Danny Boyle's first 2 films, so of course they would want to bring him back for the third film together, in which they did. Now, Ewan McGregor looking under the floorboard for the money is a nod. That's to a movie called Shallow Grave, which was also about stolen money. And like I stated, it was Ewan McGregor and Danny Boyle's first film together. Now, if you remember back in this movie, they are brought back to the cabin. Robert is told to he's stalling, and saying, maybe the money's here, maybe the money's here. So he's looking at different places in the cabin for the money, and one of the places that he does look for is the floorboard. So that's kind of a little nod to Shallow Grave. And if this kind of teaming sounds, and looks like it's familiar, a few weeks ago we kind of dove into a movie called Feeling Minnesota. Well, that movie was filmed in 1995, released in 96, but that movie also had Cameron Diaz and Delroy Lindo in that one as well, which was a box office failure, but is a nice little cult favorite. And this movie was shot over a period of 50 days in Utah, parts of California, and parts of Nevada. And this movie really does have that kind of almost desert or back feel to it. And so you were checking out the feed, it sounded like. So it sounds like it sounds okay online.
I'm sorry, the producer had to respond to some comments.
Okay. Did you?
I sure did.
Oh, okay. Good. Hopefully it's good. Now, this had a budget of $12 million. And with the talent behind or in front of the camera, you could see why this would cost a little bit of money. You're on location, so you're shooting with the climate. You're going against the weather, the lighting. So there's a lot of things that could cost $12 million. And you have a soundtrack that has some pretty decent people on it for the time. You've got REM. You've got the Sneaker Pimps on there. You've got Beck. You've got Lucius.
The Sneaker Pimps.
Yeah. So you've got
love them.
You've got a lot of talent on the soundtrack as well.
Oh, that sounds awesome. And if you haven't tuned into the show on Spotify, you get to hear the music, and on YouTube. Facebook, you do not.
But you do live on 92.5.
Yes, you do on Live on Radio, so tune in Live on Radio.
Now, this movie, like I said, it had a budget of $12 million. It did not make its money back. This movie only brought in $4.2 million, which means it was a financial failure.
It's almost an $8 million loss.
Yes. And it was also kind of a failure with the critics.
What cost $8 million?
No, it cost 12.
I know, extra.
I'd say Cameron Diaz probably cost, maybe $500,000 at this point. Ewan McGregor $500,000.
Cameron Diaz at this point, she would have been through The Mask and all of those movies. She probably would have been a little bit more. Or was she through The Mask then?
She had done The Mask, but
yes,
you have to also
her
think
uber famous. She would have been in the millions.
You have to also think though, she probably signed on to do this movie before The Mask came out. So they were actually able to get her.
That's a fact we need to look into.
Same thing she did with.
But Ewan McGregor, his salary, you would call it $500,000?
Probably. Because his movies have, up until Star Wars, really never made a lot of money. Not Hollywood money.
Holly Hunter as another big player in this movie, I would maybe think that she was... This is a side role for her. I would say she would ask for at least $500,000. So
yeah, I'd say
I think they
$500,000.
probably spent more on the acting and the editing and all of that.
And the soundtrack.
Yeah. But I think you probably could have done it all for less.
I don't know. I don't know how much it costs to film in Utah, Arizona.
Do you think Hollywood spends too much money on movies when they could
I do. I think they spend too
It's
much
contractual work, so obviously you get quoted at the highest.
now. Yes. This
You
had
might not get the best, but you get quoted at the highest.
Yes, that's true. You got a Rotten Tomatoes score of 41%, audience score of 59, and IMDb.
41?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably like Karaoke Scene, which they promote as something you would want to watch, but I'm not really sure it is something you would want to watch.
I mean, I don't think it's anything you would not want to watch, but I got to be honest, that is my least favorite scene in the movie. I don't think the karaoke scene is needed at all. I really don't.
Anyways, I think we're going to have a brief pause from the producer even putting anything into this movie because I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen the rest of it in a while, have you?
In a long, long time. A long, long, long time. But I will leave you to it and trust that you can do a good job.
Thank you. So you'll be in the producer booth?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll be in the producer booth. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Lana. So she is just going to run the booth for just a moment, and I'm going to get back into the movie. So we've got the plot and the story. So basically, you have Robert, played by Ewan McGregor. He's kind of this, he's not really a go-getter in life. He's lost his job as a janitor, and he's very upset with Mr. Neville, who's the owner of the company. So he decides to go. His job's being replaced by robots. He's being replaced by a little robot to do the cleaning. So he goes up and he expects to. He doesn't really think his plan through all the way, but he goes up there and he does pick up the robot, throws the robot against the wall. I want my job back, Mr. Neville. The robot hits the wall, comes down on the floor, starts sweeping up again. In the meantime, all these police gather around him. His Mr. Neville's daughter, Celine, happens to be in the office as well because her dad is going to quit paying for everything that she's done in life. She's going to get a job and learn how to do something with her life because she's 25 years old and has never learned how to do anything at all. So he's telling her, Celine, you're going to learn how to do something. You're going to learn how to take over this business. You're going to learn these classes. You're going to get out there and make the money. And that's what he expects her to do. Little does he know that Robert is getting ready to storm through the room, demand he get his job back from the robots, and be completely upset when the police take him down. He drops his gun. Celine kicks the gun over to Robert. Robert picks up the gun, takes Celine, and kidnaps her. And there the plot is put into motion. And I think that's about 12 minutes in that happens. Now, upon being captured, and I don't want to give everything away because this is a movie that you really should go out, I think, and experience and enjoy. It's a very enjoyable movie. It's very fast-paced. It's entertaining, and I think you will enjoy it and like it, as I have said. Now, I think all the characters do a great job. I don't think there is a character that is a weak link at all. You've got Ewan McGregor as Robert. He plays the, kind of the schlub a little bit. He has a good heart. He wants to do the right thing. He cares about people, but he feels like he's been taken advantage of. His girlfriend had just cheated on him with the aerobics instructor. He's lost his job. He gets kicked out of his house. So these two angels are trying to get Celine, the hostage, to fall in love with a disgruntled kidnapper, Ewan McGregor. And along the way, as you would imagine, Celine, you learn that she has been kidnapped before, so she gives Robert tips on what he could do to kidnap her better or more effectively. And the two, throughout the story, spoiler alert on a 28-year-old movie, is it 28-year-old? Yeah, 28-year-old movie, is that they fall in love. But the way in which they fall in love and the way in which they learn about this and, learn about the love between one another is a fun thing to watch. You've got Holly Hunter as one of the angels, O'Reilly and Delroy Lindo as Jackson. He's another angel. And they both do a superb job. You got Ian Holm as Mr. Neville. And you despise the man. He does a great job in playing the hardened father who has spoiled Celine up until this point. And I think he does a great job. He does a very similar kind of role, not to this degree, but a lesser, quote, villainous role in Garden State a couple years later. You've got Stanley Tucci playing the slime bag Elliot, and Dan Hedaya as the angel Gabriel in a short appearance. Now, Lana was mentioning a couple of one of her least favorite scenes, which there was a scene where they sing Somewhere Beyond the Sea, but at a karaoke, kind of a karaoke bar. And I do think that scene is probably my least favorite scene in the movie. It's not really necessary for the movie to move forward. It's a nice little 2 or 3 minute, pleasure, I guess you could say, because they both can sing, fairly well, and it's dazzling to the eye, but it really doesn't move the story forward, and I don't really think it's necessary at all. One of my favorite scenes, however, is there's a scene where where Robert is trying to call Mr. Neville and make his demands. And he keeps on messing up. And Celine just gets so frustrated that she just can't. I was going to play the scene for you, but I do not think it's going to translate exactly just listening to it. But anyway, Celine is, frustrated, and she's like, let's just write a letter, because Robert is so inept at even trying to do anything remotely close to resembling a good kidnapping. Score and music. This does have a good score. We listened to a little bit of Sneaker Pimps earlier. We've got, they were in Velvet Divorce. We've got Beck on here. We've got REM, which is off their New American Hi-Fi or something like that. Let's see. It's a slightly different version, though, if you listen closely.
Where do I go in the land touch a sea? There is my trust in what I believe. That's what keeps me. That's what keeps me. That's what keeps me down. So leave it all behind.
So as you can hear, this is a little bit different version. If you know the New Adventures in Hi-Fi was the album this was on, but it was a different version. And, this has a lot of, you've got Elvis Presley on here, the Cardigans, Faithless, you've got Bobby Darwin, the Prodigy. So there's a lot of these kind of bands, especially 90s type bands, that were on this soundtrack. And I think they do a good job. But it's very late 90s. Very much so. Now, speaking of originality, what was that?
I said very Richard Marx. Late 90s.
Yeah, very late 90s.
Was it early 90s?
Late 80s, early
Late
90s.
80s, early 90s.
Yeah, that's okay, though.
My brain has just got back into studio mode.
Yes. Well, you're great. You're great at so many things that it's hard to always be great at so many things. So sometimes you can only be good, not great. So that's okay.
You just called me not great. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't.
As the producer of this show, I'm actually going to say that we might not be continuing.
That's not good. That's great. Not great. That's not good nor great.
April Fools.
April Fools. August 1st Fools. But anyway, originality. I do think this is the original movie. You know, not only with the concept, we've heard of like the fake kidnapping. That story has been told time and again. This kind of has a little bit of a twist where it's the angels are being directed. Listen, the divorce rate is up. Everything is crazy down there. People are falling out of love like it's nothing. The big guy upstairs wants you to go down there and make these two people fall in love. Their punishment, if they don't make these two fall in love, is they've got to stay on Earth. Did you know that, Lana? That's the punishment. If they don't get Celine and Robert to fall in love, they have to stay on Earth. And I would say that's, you know, a punishment that I wouldn't want upon anyone. I really wouldn't.
Oh, I think it is. That's the whole reason I've never been married.
Because you don't want to stay on Earth?
Because I don't want to be divorced.
Do you think that? You think that's the main reason? That's the main scares? Fear?
Yes. I've said that for 20 plus years, 25 plus years. I'm not going to get married unless I can be assured that I'm not going to get divorced. It's not landed on anybody.
No, you can come on in.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that is, we'll get into the poster tonight. Now, I do think it is a very good poster. I think it encapsulates what the movie is. You've got that they're going to fall in love, perhaps, and you've got the fact that, you know, he was the kidnapper, she was the kidnappee. Now, are they going to fall in love, and what chaos is going to happen behind them? So, I do think it was an original movie and a pretty cool poster. And would I recommend this movie? Why or why not? You know, I would recommend this movie. I've recommended this movie. If people have followed me on social media over the last couple of years, decade, they've seen this movie's poster pop up time and again. And this is a movie that I would totally recommend. It's I see a familiar face back in studio.
Hello, brother. It's been a while, man.
It has been a while.
It's not Casey. That's Jeremiah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I would definitely recommend A Lifeless Ordinary. And I would say if you haven't seen it, go. I don't think it's anywhere free, though. But Jeremiah knows where to get all the free movies. Where do you go?
Oh, dude. I go on, it's called Cinesphere.
Okay.
Dude, you have to put up with ads. But, I mean, man, any movie that's in theaters or whatever, you can get it and watch
Okay.
it. It's awesome. That's where I watch 90% of the
So
shows that we
Cinesphere.
cover on here. Yes.
Okay. So check it out there, Lifeless Ordinary. Please go to all the social media. That's the Facebook, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, The Other People's Show. And stay tuned as we'll be back in just a moment. You're sticking around, aren't you, Jeremiah?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Lana, you sticking around?
I think so.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute, folks.
Like a ghost town.